So Pump.Fun is launching a token. Everybody's talking about Pump.Fun, what it's gonna be, what it really means for the protocol, what it really means for the ecosystem. Is it gonna suck out liquidity like Trump did? All that questions I'm gonna answer you today, but also I'm gonna share with you how I'm going to profit from this if we get lucky. I'm gonna share with you two strategies that I think could be very lucrative when it comes to Pump.Fun. So we're gonna talk about that, and of course we're gonna talk about all the other stuff that we usually talk about. If you don't know who I am, my name is Fefe. I bring you the best alpha, I bring you news, I bring you trades, and the idea behind the show is you can watch the show and you don't need anything else for the next 24 hours. If that sounds good and you will enjoy the content, smash the like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let's get going. Number one, before we even deep dive, I want to share with you three things. One is, congratulations to everyone. It is happy all-time highs. Yesterday night, depending on where you're in the world, maybe it's today morning, we hit all-time highs again. And I'm very happy because yesterday we've literally been talking about this on the show, and I've been saying that there is a very high possibility that this is going to happen in the next 24, 48 hours, and we just needed to see a rejection for it to confirm that it's not going to happen. But we didn't see the rejection, and not only we did not see the rejection, but also, I'm going to talk about charts a bit later, but also we did not have any fair value get filled for now. So that means that we still can have a little bit of a drop here and still be extremely bullish. So we're still looking at 2% plus, still be bullish. So that's one. The second is I legit just have to share this with you. This is absolutely insane to me. So I talked to my friends at Ton, and Snoop Dogg dropped a song on his own channel talking about Telegram. And I just want to play the beginning of this. Again, the reason why I'm super excited about this, I'm all about retail onboarding and I'm helping people understand crypto. So the fact that we've got a celebrity like Snoop Dogg dropping, not a mention, but drops a complete song about Telegram and then launches his own stickers is just crazy. So listen to this.
Snoop Dogg, I know you thought it wasn't me. You thought it was AI. Nah, this is the real deal Holyfield. What it do? Where you at? Tell me what's the plan. Tell me
this is his official channel.
Worldwide, international. What's your man's? Tell her who.
And these are the stickers that he launched on Ton.
What it do? Where you at? Tell me what's your plan. Tell me who? Tell me what? Homie, Telegram. Worldwide.
It's absolutely crazy. This is a very good example on how things are going to get stupid on the next run up. When every celebrity, and it's not just launching a meme and rocking and whatever, but every celebrity, every Web2 company, every tokenization of real world assets are going to happen like this. You won't realize it. It's gonna be extremely fast. And the third thing that I wanted to share with you, so a lot of you are asking where is Ren and why Ren is, because he's already laughing. Ren sent me this photo from holiday. He's on holiday and he let me take the channel, so I'm gonna show it to you. He just sent me this photo. I think he's chilling with his family, so I'm very happy that he is having fun, and we're having fun here as well. But let's jump in here. Because Pump.Fun is launching a token. Now, a lot of people refer to this as the most hated token launch in history. And the reason is because Pump.Fun extracted so much from the space that a lot of people don't really like Pump.Fun. Not only because they extracted almost $1 billion and they basically sold all the fees that they made. They dumped their Solana, they made it into USDT or USDC, but also because memes have, again, this depends on the argument, have not necessarily been very good for this space. And the reason is mostly Pump.Fun. So I brought you some stats. Now you probably have heard about Pump.Fun, and most of you, what was the vote here? Let me just look at the vote. How many people actually have participated in any Pump.Fun activity? We put up a vote here. Let me see. So it's I'm a part of the chaos, 36%. I'm not a degen. Okay, 64%. I'm very happy to see that because I'm personally not a big degen either. So it's very cool. So let me just run some numbers here because it's quite astonishing. So these guys have made $780 million in revenue from January 2024. They have launched, so there was 11 million, almost 12 million tokens launched on the platform. Can you comprehend that? 12 million tokens launched on the platform. It's just insane. There was only 15,000 tokens launched yesterday. Only 103 graduated, which means 103 actually hit the bonding curve and got out to Radium. But it is a very, very lucrative protocol. Now, these guys announced that they are going to launch. By the way, this is very important here. So they I didn't know this either, but Pump.Fun became the fastest growing company in history, reaching 100 million, 300 million, and 500 million in revenue faster than any company in the world. So it's not within crypto, but any company in the world. And now they are launching a token. So they announced that they are launching Pump token. First of all, if you have not seen this video, this is like madness chaos. So I'm not gonna play the whole thing. You might just want to go to Pump.Fun and see it. But this is like this gives me the vibe what Pump.Fun is about. Like this all around the place, jumping craziness. This is what Pump.Fun is about. So they're launching a token, and I think it's worth running through for what and why. Alan is a co-founder of Pump.Fun, and he says that the democratization of token creation, introducing a new paradigm where buyers and sellers independently decide, no, that's not the one what I wanted to reach. He says, subject to censorship. Furthermore, bots have made many platforms unusable. If you look at X, if you look at Twitter, if you look at Instagram, if you look at Facebook, bots have made it unusable. AI slop has completely taken over. The death of traditional social media is near. So what they're basically planning on doing is creating a social network with Pump.Fun. It's not just going to be a token launching platform, but as they say, you will be able to, so the way they are expanding their ecosystem is that you're going to be able to use it as a social network, and no matter what idea you have, you are basically going to be able to tokenize it from the get-go. That's the idea. Now, I'm not a big fan of SocialFi tokens because I think they all fail, but from the perspective and understanding what Pump really did here, it could actually be very interesting, at least for a cycle, you know? So I'm not saying marry this token, but at least for a cycle. Now, it says that our biggest conviction, Pump.Fun live streaming revolutionizes the entire industry by flipping the existing incentives on their head. Viewers are rewarded for finding talent early, and creators monetize immediately and more lucratively than ever before. This basically means, and what this actually says, is that there was a platform, or there was an option on Pump.Fun for a long time where you could go live, right? You could do live stream, and the moment you, for example, obviously none of this is endorsement, I just literally opened this platform up here. So here is this dude, and he's live streaming. I don't even know what he's doing, but he's live streaming on Pump.Fun. And he has a token called DCF, and that's at 7,000 market cap. So obviously, if it gets through the bonding curve, it becomes an actual token that you can buy on a decentralized exchange, and it will be about whatever this dude is doing. So they are upping the game and moving into this. Now, the problem with this was that I don't want to scroll here because we don't want to get banned and taken down and whatnot. But the problem with this is that shit got really crazy with the live stream. If you have not been here a couple of months, what was it? What was it? Last year, November, things got really out of hand. Like, I mean, horrible things, like stuff that you can't even think of, has been live streamed without any censorship on Pump.Fun. And it has been taken down. Not fast enough, but still quite fast. And so what happened is that now they brought it back, and yeah, so they brought it back now. They have like a limitation and everything. And I even posted about it. They say that the viewers is restricted to users above the age of 18. And I thought it was very funny. And I just tweeted this and I said, why is it above 18-year-olds and not below? And so I don't know if it's only me or the joke is not understandable. Ren explained it very much, but I also said, like, he's on holiday, so he needs about, 5 days of vacation till gets his humor back. I think he's gonna come back very, very soon, so it's gonna be fine. But the reason is they obviously limited it much more. They have much more reach on what can and cannot go there. So hopefully things don't repeat itself, and it's not gonna get into a shit show, especially during this whole launch. Now, what is the launch really about, and what you can look at? So one is they are launching a token, 1 trillion token. Let me just go down here. So they are launching 1 trillion token at 4 billion FDV. Now, Jupiter is about 3 billion. So Jupiter, the aggregator, is about 3 billion. So you can kind of take that. It's 25% higher valuation than the biggest aggregator on Solana. 33, the tokenomics are actually quite interesting. So they do have 20% team, 13% existing investors, 33% initial coin offering. So that goes to like the ICO that they're going to do on the 12th, which is, when is the 12th? Is it 2 days from now, Saturday? Liquidity and exchanges, foundation, ecosystem fund, live streaming. This is interesting. We're going to talk about it. And community and ecosystem initiatives. So the lockup, because everybody was hating on Pump.Fun, and they're like, they're extracting a lot of money and this and that. The lockup is actually quite interesting. So 60% of the tokens are in circulation almost from the very beginning. So no, actually not 60%, maybe 57%. So you see the ICO will be immediate circulation. Liquidity and exchanges will be out there, of course. Foundation, live streaming will be out there as well. We're going to talk about that again. Ecosystem fund and the team tokens and the community incentives are going to be unlocked till next year July as well, and then it will be linear. And then existing investors and team tokens will they have a cliff, meaning they can't touch the tokens for about a year, and then from there they will have an unlocking period of like 3 years, linear vesting, meaning that they got a certain amount every single day or every single month, but it is going to be a linear unlock. So whoever, I saw these crazy tweets that they're going to just rug everyone, it's kind of difficult for them to do that when their token is logged into a smart contract, but so this is what it is. So it's not like they're going to take the 20% or whatever that might be, and then they're just going to run away with it because it is going to be locked. Now they are also saying that the Pump token will have utility, a lot of utility. You're going to do social fi and this and that, but also they're kind of promising, or they're working out, or having a proposal for a revenue share with a Pump token holder. So again, imagine that they made almost $800 million in the past, whatever, 1.5 years, and they're going to share 25% of their ongoing revenue with the Pump holders, probably stakers. We'll see how that goes, but there is some kind of revenue share incentive within here. So you have the platform. You can again just go to the PUMPFUN side. You will see it on their platform. You will see it's 4 billion valuation. It will open up on July 12th at 2 UTC, 2 o'clock UTC, which is like probably an hour, probably around now, probably around this time on Saturday. You are going to be able to get in here. They're going to sell 15% of the supply, which is about 150 million tokens, billion tokens. So yeah, it is going to be quite interesting. We have a lot of pre-markets that you also can participate. So you can go on to some of the major exchanges. Talking about some, so Bybit one of them, talking about some of the major exchanges. There is a massive thing happening with Bybit, right? So they became MiCA compliant. They have a new entity, Bybit Europe, okay? So you can go and sign up to Bybit Europe if you are from Europe. There's a link in the description. All you need to do is just simply go there and sign up again. They are MiCA regulated. That means that if you could not use your Bybit account within the EU, that is no longer a problem, because they solve the issue. So there's a link in the description. Go and check it out. I'm gonna scroll down here. There's a link in the description and it says Bybit EU. You will be able to sign up and get all the bonuses. So do that if you have not done that and you are in Europe. Let's go here. Okay, so let's talk about, let me just, because everything fine with the like button. Is everything working with the like button?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you 100% certain?
150.
Okay, we're gonna jump on how we could make money with this whole thing. 𝗬𝗲𝗡, why do they need KYC? Because the IRS is watching. The guys from the States as well, they want to be very regulatory compliant. So they want to make sure that no one in the restricted region actually buys into their ICO, because then they could get in trouble. So I think that's the main reason. Jimmy's here for all. Join in. GM Bantafam. What about airdrops? It's happening. Everything is working, Fefe. I'm so happy. Guys, please like the show. Let's get going. Next thing. There is how to make money, right? That's the question. So I was thinking about what to do here. Like 4 billion, I mean, that's kind of like an expensive thing, if you think about it. If you really think about it, the Jupiter's at 3 billion, and then there is this Pump.Fun token that is launching, and we know that these guys extracted millions and millions and hundreds of millions of dollars from the industry. I found 4 billion to be quite expensive. But if you think about the fact that 4 billion is basically the floor, that's the cost basis for anyone, it is not a bad buy. So there are two ways that I believe could make you money. One is the arbitrage. So if you look, now you can trade this on a lot of pre-markets. So there are a lot of pre-markets that allow you to trade this, for example, on Hyperliquid, right? So you go on Hyperliquid, there's a pre-market token listed, and you're able to trade that token. Now here's the catch. The Hyperliquid, the token on Hyperliquid is trading at 4.8 billion instead of the 4 billion ICO price. So there is you already have a much higher price than what the original price is going to be. And that could give you an edge if you are able to get in on the ICO. Okay, on the ICO. How would this work? So one, you would have to short the token on Hyperliquid. So you can short the token on Hyperliquid and at the same time, just get in on the ICO. And from the difference, you not only get the difference from the arbitrage, but also you get the funding fee. Now the funding fees have been crazy mad. So if you look at this, like in the past days, has been absolutely like from yesterday. Funding fees went up to like 1,600%. Now it's down to 0.5% here. That's on a yearly basis, 24, which is nothing compared to what it was. But these things get like very, 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 very high. So what I would recommend, or what you could potentially look at, is to monitor this on Hyperliquid, see when the funding climbs back up above, a couple of 100% or 1,000%. And when it does climb up that high, take the short. And when the 12th on Saturday, when the ICO happens, buy the same amount and then get the arbitrage difference. And at the same time, you can also recoup your investment, or you can also recoup the funding fee, which again could be several hundred percentages on an annual basis. So that's one of the theses that I think, and a lot of people are doing it. There's a $7 million short open on Hyperliquid, so people are realizing this. Again, you have to calculate so you don't get liquidated and all that stuff, but I do think that this could be a great idea. But what could be even better is, and it's gonna be basically a no-brainer, but to buy the token. I think I am going to get some at ICO price, and the reason is because if you look at Jupiter, for example, that we have mentioned, right? So Jupiter has been a 3.5x from ICO or from launch to all-time highs. 3.5x. If you look at what Pump.Fun enabled and Pump.Fun did, not for the industry, but in the industry, and you understand the revenue they generated, again, the $800 and something million, $781 million, you understand that these guys are not screwing around. Also, they do not share anything. Like, you don't really see their next step, which is very, very beneficial when it comes to a project like this. They're also executing stuff, obviously very, very good. They're making $1 billion in the past, 18 months, which is, again, very, very, very lucrative. So I believe it could be a great opportunity to get the token on ICO and then see where it goes. I personally think that it might have a dip below 4 billion, but I think it is valued fairly. That's my honest opinion on the Pump.Fun. And if they can pull it off, again, I'm not marrying any of these tokens. So I'm not saying I'm a Bitcoin maxi, but I'm kind of a Bitcoin maxi. So I'm not marrying any of these tokens. If Pump pulls this off, and if Solana is going to lead with the Solana staking ETFs, and money could potentially ripple down, I do think Pump could do extremely well, even if you get it at a 4 billion valuation. I hope that makes sense. And if it does, only thing we need is to like the show. Let's see if Ren replied to me. He didn't. I think he's chilling in his. Speedo. So he's saying great offer, but we need some entries on this live. Now I told you the entry in general. Yeah, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. So let's look at charts. So first of all, I want to tell you that straight after this, so I do most of my stuff here is fundamental. So I want to talk to you about the news. I want to keep you updated in a very short amount of time. And very short amount of time means I can't really cover everything on the show. So one of the things that I can't cover is charts. And I'm a trader by trade. I have a trading channel. It's called the 100X Club. And we do have that included in the top of the chat. So Cuz is going to pin it here as well. But also you find it in the description. So you can just scroll down here on the bottom. You'll be able to find Fefe's trading channel. So you will be, why is it on the bottom? Binance Square we don't need. It should be up here, but you will be able to find it here, trading channel. And straight after this live show, so whether you're rewatching it later or not, straight after this live show, we are going to do this Bitcoin broke all-time high. These altcoins could be next. So go and subscribe to the channel. And join us there for a trading session. We're gonna do that. But I want to talk about the charts a little bit. Yesterday, I have a free Telegram. It's also down in the description. But I tweeted this and I said, no hourly close above the previous high. Took a scalp short. Hope it gets stopped. Will be a quick one either way. Only take if you see it now. Tiny risk. Now, I did take that short. And the reason is exactly what I described there, is that all-time high is up here, which is beautiful. But we do not have a close above here. There is no hourly close above the major level, and that means that there was not enough power for the chart to break through. Does that mean that we're going to reject here and go to zero? No, I don't think that is happening. I've been calling for this level for the past 10 days, 15 days, so I'm very bullish. I think we are going to new all-time highs, but We can have a pullback before. So as you see here, I posted this in the Telegram, and I said, this is what I'm thinking. We took to a 50% TP off, profit off, and I said I'm probably gonna come down a little bit to the 50% and then reverse there. And that is what we're seeing now. So I do think that we have a massive, massive, massive opportunity here, because the 50% retrace here will be magnificent at 110, and I do believe that we can have massive entries. This is what we're gonna do on the 100x Club, and I'll give you exact entries on there. Why is that? Very, very simply put, this is here a breaker block, the previous local high. Also massive, massive, massive liquidity has been taken from this level. So it's either going to be this level, or we will see a dump all the way down here to the 108, or possibly down to the 105. I don't think that's happening. Again, I just want to make sure that you understand. I do think that we are going to see a reversal here. We're going to touch onto the 50%. We're going to see a market structure shift, which I'm going to show you again when we have time on the trading seminar or trading show. We're going to see a market structure shift and then just move on from there to all-time highs. This is what I'm thinking. I am putting my money where my mouth is. So I have been layering into positions for a long time. TON has been one of my big trades. I am still holding TON as well. And Jito, we took profits. So again, I updated you on all this, but I took $2,400 profit, and I'm down about 1,600 currently. So that's about $700 profit for now. But I do think that a recovery comes, and this is what I've been preparing for. I have been layering into the market, and I've been layering in for the next leg. And I do believe, especially if you look at stuff like TON, like there is just no ceiling. There is just no limit where these things can go. This, by the way, is PUMPFUN. If you're not familiar, I think you are familiar, but if you're not familiar, non-KYC available worldwide, no VPN needed. But the best part is, in what I believe, is that it's a non-KYC exchange that custodies at a third party. So they don't actually hold your funds. They use Fireblocks, which is a very respected platform, and you can be sure that your funds are safe, which is incredible. I know the team. I love the team. I love the platform. It's pretty cool. There's a link in the description. They have a trading competition running right now. So if you join on the link, you will join in there as well. And that said, if you watch my content, you know that there's always news to cover. So I'm going to run through some of the latest news that is relevant. First of all, this is crazy. Bloomberg Terminal is now showing Bitcoin price in millions. In millions. They don't say 100,000. They say 0.12 trillion, 0.112 million, 0.112. It's crazy. I still have to kind of get used to it, but 0.112 million. That's what the Bloomberg Terminal is telling me. 𝗙𝗘𝗏, I mean, shout out. This guy is an absolute G. Like, 𝗙𝗘𝗏 is basically flexing, just coming here, and they have 400 million in unrealized profits, which is insane if you think about the country that was bashed about adopting Bitcoin and, oh my God, what's going to happen? And IMF trying to push them down and silence them, and they're up $400 million on their position. It's just wild. Yeah, it's just absolutely insane. So absolute G. Apple approved the first ever iOS game using Bitcoin Lightning payments. It is happening again. Just going back to Snoop Dogg at the beginning. I do think retail is coming, and I do think that it is going to be. Does Vivek follow me? Oh, it does. Oh, incredible. Incredible. Inflation hits 1.6%. I've been saying July cut, guys. I've been saying July cut. I don't know if it's happening. There is a 95% probability that is not happening, but I personally think there should be a cut in July. And if JP is not politicizing the Fed, there will be a cut happening. Inflation is basically down. And then everybody's accumulating. Like there's on the 22nd of July, there is going to be a crypto report that the government is going to push out. And in that crypto report, they hopefully are going to discuss what is going to be the strategy going forward for acquiring more Bitcoin. I had this interview with Bo Hines. Now, he's the guy in the White House. He's basically the guy who pushed through the Bitcoin strategic reserve in the White House. I made an interview with him. I want you to look at this. It's absolutely incredible. The Bo explains it very nicely what the plan is. And he literally says in the interview, he said to me, he's like, we want as much Bitcoin as possible. So the government knows and wants as much Bitcoin as possible. And the sky is the limit for them. Again, if you go down to the description, it's going to be down here. You will be able to watch the full interview. I do recommend you do that. It's actually quite interesting. And again, this is the guy in the White House. And then just to spice everything up, USDT dominance has formed a death cross. Now, last times that happened, it's the 50 and the 200 EMA. We had a massive drop in USDT dominance. Now, USDT dominance represents what percent of the total market is in USDT, or in the USDT stablecoin. Now, there is less money in stablecoins, meaning there's more money in the market. More money in the market means there's more demand for crypto. So having a death cross here again is just extremely bullish as well. I do think a parabolic run is about to happen in the next 4 months, is going to be legendary, something that we have not seen for years and years and years. So it's going to be very, very cool. We're going to jump onto the 100x Club as I promised. I hope you enjoyed this show. I'm going to be here. I'm not going to be here tomorrow, but I might drop a tutorial. We'll see. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, smash the like button. And again, do not forget, there's going to be a video up here. I am literally just jumping onto the 100x Club. I'm going to do a complete trading session with all the entries that you might need, all the possibilities for the next leg up. Check out the other video. This is the playlist that I'm doing here, all the how-tos and deep dives, and click here to subscribe if you have not done that already. Guys, I truly, truly, truly appreciate every single one of you. Thanks for spending time with me. I'll see you on the 100x show just now. Take care.